guess the first thing I want to just demo is how to post an event. So any WCA member has access to posting an event, and you just go down the left side here, or I should say the right side, and you just click this submit an outing. So this template comes up called create an outing, and you just type in a name. So I'm going to call it test outing. And you got a drop down menu depending on what event you're doing. So in my case, we'll call it educational workshop. And I'll just put here TBD. So this is where you write the words about, what you're going to talk about. Event location, I'm going to say your place. It's going to be a Zoom meeting. And then the date, a calendar comes up. So let's make it the 25th. That's going to be a popular day. And then you click on the time thing and you just type in a time. So let's say it's going to be, I don't know, let's call it 01 o'clock. And then you click on the 008 there, you put 00 p.m. Okay, so 1 p.m. Cutoff, we'll make it 12, I don't know, 24. So that's the date that you don't want people to sign up after. And there's a drop down on difficulty rating. So it's a beginner event. Anybody can show up. Who's invited? Everybody. And maximum group, I don't know, 100 say. Minimum group, 2. You write the itinerary. We're going to talk about this, that, and the other thing. So I'll put TBD for now. Required items. So on a typical event, bring a canoe, paddle, PFD, stuff like that. In our case, TBD. Recommended items, camera, water, bug spray, etc. TBD. You don't actually have to fill in anything there, but I could just put words, okay? Carpool, you can describe it or say see, event coordinator notes, blah, blah, blah. Cancellation, only sign up if you're intending to attend. Contact name. So this is where I put in my name or your name, whatever. And my number. Okay, and then my email. And the system knows who I am. So in theory, it figures out I'm a member and lets me do all this stuff. All right. And then this is an important button right here, notifications. When you're just doing your drafts, click on do not send the notifications for this update. If you do not click on this, the minute you go down the bottom and save it, it's going to go out. Now, the first time it goes out to the approval person. But I commonly just click on do not send notifications just to make sure nothing exits the building. You don't have to do anything with that. Sign up settings is really, you allow people to sign up online, or you can disable that feature. Then they have to email you and, call you or something. I'm the author. If you don't fill in this date, it auto fills when I started the date. So you can do a preview, but I would recommend you just do a submit. And because you didn't click this button here, it's not going to go anywhere. So it's basically, you're going to loop around and make sure it's perfect. So I just, usually say submit. Oh, I think I messed up and I should say draft. Okay, so because I'm a special person, I'm an administrator, I could, and I think I've just done that, I could actually approve the event and create the event. Most people don't have that ability, so they can only submit. And then what would happen is goes to our Outings committee, and we have 2 people, Bill Ness and Mary Perkins. They review the event. And they just, critique it to say, okay, it all makes sense and it's filled in properly, etc. So in this case, because I'm an administrator kind of person, when I clicked done, it basically approved it. So up here, I see these boxes. Most people would just see the view and the edit, maybe the access control and the participants. So the edit is obvious. When you click on edit tab, now you can edit the event. So if you made a mistake somewhere, you could say, oh yeah, I should have said TBD. And then you say, okay, oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. And you go back down to the bottom. Again, you click do not send. You go all the way to the bottom and you could say now submit. Now what I should do is call it draft. So you go submit and it goes back to the approval person again. Usually Bill or Mary look at the event within a day or so. And then they approve it. And then this thing will say, it won't say unpublished. When it actually gets published, so in this case, if I was a Bill or I'm an approval kind of person, I can go into this tab and actually approve my event, which I don't want to do because then it becomes live. But when the event is approved, you can go to this tab called participants. And when people start signing up, you're going to start seeing a list here being created. So just to give you an example, and because it's not approved, I can't sign up right now, but that's the idea. I guess one more thing, go back to the view here. When the event actually gets approved, you'll have a page that looks like this. And if you want to sign up, you physically have to click on these links and it will open up into, some waiver or some documentation, etc. And, you read the guidelines or whatever, you read this, okay, that's the waiver. You physically don't have to print it and do anything. You just basically, this box becomes now clickable. This box is still phantomed and this box is still phantom until you click on this link to open the page. And then you start reading about, COVID declaration. Which says, okay, this is the 7 basic questions you get in a doctor's office when you go for a dentist or a doctor, and it says, do you have COVID? Have you been near COVID? You answer no. Okay, great. You physically don't have to print the paper. You just have to go to the event and click, I've read it. And the same thing for the guidelines, the last bullet. You click on the link, and these are our general guidelines that have been around for a while. It's handy to read this like once a year just to understand, yeah, okay, refresh your memory, especially beginning of the season. Then you go back to the original event and you click on that. And now these 3 boxes pop up. Because it knew this email is a member and I'm the member, now I can just type in my telephone number, or I can put gobbledygook there. I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, 0. Or if I want somebody to actually call me, it's good to put your real phone number. Same with your email. You could, well, I guess you need your email. And all this information is good. So I'm going to sign up with this bogus telephone number. But basically now the organizer will, so I'm the organizer in this case, the participants sheet will list me, oh, here I am. And yes, I'm, because I'm an admin, I'm on all these user types, but basically I'm a member. Most members will just see this. And you'll have a list of all the people that are signed up for the event. So that's my 5-10 minutes on how to do it. It's pretty straightforward. If you ever need any help, you can always go to the website and just do this help, or you can go to the contacts list. That's maybe the better way to do it. So you can ramble through this, and usually info@wilderness will get somebody to answer your question, or my email here, or any of the people down here, like Bill Ness.
Yeah, call me, and I can walk you through it.
Okay, excellent, Bill. Okay, so that's my little bit on how to post an event. So
can I add a couple of hints for people?
Okay, Sure, go ahead, Bill.
First of all, the easy way to do this is just to use WordPad or Word and type out your description there, and then just cut and paste rather than trying to use the online form. It's easier to work with. If you've done the same trip or similar trip in the past, or someone else has, you can always cheat by going to Outings, then press past Outings, and you go in there, find the description of the trip, say that was done last year, and you can just copy and paste that description and modify it as necessary for you, but don't reinvent the wheel. Use stuff that's already there.
Okay,
now,
good idea.
If you make some sort of an error, grammar, spelling, dates, or something like that, I'm going to come back to you and ask you to go into your outing and correct it. And you're going to start thinking, lazy jerk, why don't you just do it while you're in there? Excuse me. And the reason is because of the way this system is set up. If I go in and make the changes, suddenly the system has it taken over by me, meaning if later you want to make some change, like a date or a meeting place, it won't let you do the changes, and you'll have to come back to me and tell me what to go in to correct. So that's why I may occasionally come back to you. Which is also why it's a really good idea to put the description down in Word first, so you can proofread it carefully. The other thing is, if you're doing like a day or a weekend trip, it's really handy to go into the itinerary or where we meet, and put down the actual driving instructions, how to get to the put in or the meeting place. It will save you a lot of hassle later, because otherwise you're going to have to go send out emails to all the participants, and you hope you get them all if it's a big group. This makes it so easy for anyone just to copy or take a photo on their phone, and they know exactly where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, one of the things I've done, Bill, is what we put in like a Google Map link.
Yes.
So you go on Google, you right-click your point, and I can demo that. So here's. I'll do Google Maps here, just so people know, I guess. Let's see if I have, yeah, I got that there. Okay, Ontario, fine. So I'm in Whitby, so I'll just do Whitby. Okay, so we zoom into Whitby, and let's just imagine I live, I don't know, here, say. So I do a right click, and you can get the coordinate or say what's here. It comes up with this little window. You click on the link and it populates here. And then what you can do is share, and that gives you a quick link, and you say copy link, and these words here you stick on your event and say put in or take out. And if somebody clicks on that, they'll get exactly this view with, you know, the street view or whatever. So that's a really handy way to, you know, find places.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Bill?
Yeah. The other thing is put down on, yes, think carefully about what requirements you're going to set for equipment, skills, experience, just to make sure that there's no misunderstandings as to what's needed. For example, because I often do early season whitewater trips, I'll always specify that you must be wearing a wetsuit or dry suit. You need a whitewater boat with full flotation. I never used to do that. To me, it seemed obvious that you would need these things. Well, what's obvious to me may not be obvious to others. Then you find people showing up for a March trip on the Credit River, wearing shorts and rubber boots rather than a wetsuit or dry suit. And it's like, I realized that's really only my fault. I'm assuming everyone will realize it, especially if you're dealing with novices. I wouldn't assume anything.
Yeah. Now, one of the beauties of the club is we have all these levels of, class 1 river, which anybody can go on basically. So we're attracting, novice people, and we're taking them to become intermediate or experts eventually. So it's always like an issue sometimes when you don't critique who's on your trip, just so that they have a good time and they're prepared. And it's no big deal. You just have to talk to people about exactly what to bring. And if they don't have everything, there's sometimes people can lend stuff, so that's handy too. Okay, and then we've got recommended items to bring. I kind of gave an example of bug spray and suntan lotion and whatever, stuff like that, camera. It's just, your recommendation. Yes, Isadora.
Hi, Gary. I just wanted to point out to the group something that I discovered the last time I posted something, and that is when you put your name and your phone number down, your event is instantly, your event is going to be findable on Google search. So somebody who's Googling up the Grand River will see this outing without being a member, and they will have your email address and your phone number. It's on Google. I can see the last, Grand River event is Googleable. I just have to Google Grand River, and there I am. And I was smart enough not to put my phone number in there and just my email address. But I was getting people emailing me saying, hey, I want to come. And I was realizing, and I would put them on my list, and I realized later they weren't members and therefore hadn't signed some kind of the waiver. So you have to be careful that when people are emailing you and not going in through the system to say that they're coming, that they haven't signed the waiver.
What you should do is say, please sign up on the event.
Online. Yes.
Right. Now we have an option we just created on the website where we could invite anonymous users. And anonymous users is a non-member, basically, according to the website. Some events like this workshop, I don't have a problem with anonymous users signing up because I want to attract new people, of course. Maybe some, modest average events, you could say, okay, we'll let people outside sign up. Now, when they sign up, because their email is not recognized, it will post it as somebody anonymously signed up for this event. And you'll see that on the participation list, basically. To give you an idea, on this event, we had a few anonymous participants sign up. And this is an option. The organizer can click on these buttons, and I can show you how to do that. So you can see here, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anonymous users signed up for this event, and here's the other people that signed up. So we have this new function because I turned it on, but it defaults that it's not turned on. You would have to ask Bill or myself, and we would go in, and there's this new tab called Grant, and that grants anonymous users access. So sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't want that. So that's good to hear.
You certainly don't have to put in your phone number, and right. You may choose to create like a Gmail address to just for WCA or some other things. Like I've done that of selling stuff on Kijiji, and I don't want my personal email address out there.
Right. Yeah. So the email is the critical thing. So if you want to be anonymous, you could say it's Gary A. WCA at Gmail, and you invent a Gmail, and you would register on a site as a member. So that would be your email for the site, but your name, you could just say Gary A. It doesn't have to be the official username. And as far as telephone number, as long as you put some digits in there, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, it accepts it. So a user will realize, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not a phone number. And, you're Gary A, and your email works. And then what happens is once you connect and you realize it's a real person, it's not a stalker or something, you can carry on and trade the official information, of course.